Juice 107.3, it's a fresh start to your day with Susie and Michael. 16 minutes to 8, 16 to 9 if you're over at the Tweed. That's Omi with Cheerleader. And Michael, you don't have the stress in your life of children. Not that they're not always stressful, they're not just a stress. But there are times of parenting that you anticipate, think about a lot. You know, when they're first born, you think about when they're going to start walking, and then when they're going to start school, and then eventually when they're going to start driving.
You've got it all planned out, haven't you, Susie?
It's all in my head, Michael. You have no idea how much we mums think about this stuff, and dads as well. But when it comes to the driving thing, there's no need to stress if you get your information from the right place, like from Gene Corbett from Total Driver. How are you going, Gene?
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, really great, thank you. Now, you've let us know that there's an event specifically for parents in this stage of life coming up today.
There is. At Coombaba High School this afternoon at 5:30, and it's held in the library. It's the top 10 things every parent needs to know when it comes to teaching your kid how to drive.
Does it start with, don't do it?
You know, it's the highest risk activity that you'll ever undertake in your entire life. And my background before I started this, I used to teach people how to race cars for a living. So I'm used to doing it at 200 kilometres an hour. And nothing scares me more than a parent who says, we want you to teach them in our car because you've got no ability to control. You know everything that they're not doing. You know all the things they're not seeing. And most importantly, you know all the decisions they haven't even thought of. And here you are sitting beside them in a motor vehicle and you can't do anything if they get it wrong. It's truly terrifying.
Oh, I can feel the stress.
I remember when my mum taught me, we were driving along and she'd be doing I'd make a funny turn and she'd be stomping her foot onto the bottom of the car, trying to hit a brake that wasn't there.
The passenger's brake just never, ever seems to work. They really should get that under the warrant of fitness or something,
I remember when I was learning to drive, Gene, my mum did some research at the time, and this was back in the 90s, and they said at that point you should, in order to get your licence, to have a good shot at success of getting your licence, do a few intense lessons with a driving school at the start, and then months of practice, and then another couple of intense driving lessons at the end, just before it's time to take your test, to make sure that the skills that you've been practicing actually are the right sort of in line with everything. And lo and behold, first time I got my licence. What do you think of that, Gene?
It's scary. This is the only industry that allows a student to define the process. Their criteria is measured by an assessment of rules. And if you look at the stats all around the world, they call it the default. It means what happens if we don't do anything. So in other words, they're pre-licensed, they're quite safe. The day they get their license, their accident and fatality rate spikes 30 times and takes 3 to 5 years to come down to a normal curve. At 5 times the fatality rate. It is the only form of education where we allow the student to become the teacher, and we allow people to decide what practice is. I mean, can you imagine if that happened in any workplace? Your workplace would be shut down without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yet we do this with our kids every day of the year.
So what do you recommend, Gene? What's the safest way to teach kids to drive?
We've actually developed a training program. We've had a lot of research done on it, and Griffith University are about to start a 3-year research program between control and non-control groups. And we found a 75% reduction in their post-licence accident and risk behaviour. But it was really intriguing. It wasn't so much on driving skills as such. It's what's going on inside their head. So we're related to the differences like having a Mac and a PC and trying to swap the operating system. So when you lead them through a process and you have to understand the process of what you're trying to create, you actually change their decision-making process because you teach them how to actually see what's really there, not what they think they should see. So our brains are always playing tricks on us, and there's lots of things that we'll go into tonight to help parents understand that this is what's going on behind the scenes. This is why it's so stressful, and this is why the students think that they're doing a champion effort and the parents are looking for an early will kit.
Sounds to me like if you're in this situation right now where your kids are about to head into that era of driving, there's probably nowhere you'd better be than at an event like this, the top 10 things that parents need to know, because it's sounding pretty stressful, Gene. We've got to take it seriously.
The stats say the stats say it all, and 75% of the people in young care are under 25, and they're all there through road trauma. That says it all. So we do a really good job at getting them to the driving test. But what the stats are really showing is the approach, the emphasis of the test doesn't relate to what we're expecting them to achieve on the road, and that's what we're trying to protect and ensure.
The event tonight, is it helpful just for teens? For example, I can't parallel park. If I came along, could I get some tips?
You can come and get some tips. It's open for parents, and it's more focused on the parents to give you the tools and information you need when you're preparing your teen drivers.
I've been in the car with Michael, Gene. I think he needs more than help on parallel parking. Frankly. So just those details again, Gene. What time is it?
It's at 5:30 to 6:30, Coomba High School in their library.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your time this morning and for bringing that to the front of our minds again. It's nice to know there's someone out there getting the research to make sure our kids are going to be more and more safe as the years go on, not less safe in this area of driving.
We actually have to self-fund the research. So if you know of any politicians that want to make a great contribution to the society, give them my phone number.
I'll see what I can do, Gene.
No problem.
Thanks so much for your time. That's Gene Corbett from Total Driver. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
This is Gym Class Heroes with Stereo Hearts on Juice 107.3.
My heart's a stereo. It beats for